everyone, and welcome. Doing another comic book talk. This time I've got a YouTube man himself, Mr. DJ Linx, in the house with us. How's it going?
It's going well, man. Thank you, Corey, for having me. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for the invite. And yeah, let's get into it, sir.
I'm just enjoying looking at all these hot toys.
Yeah, I have a big Hot Toys collection. I have about definitely over 100 figures. I want to say about 150 Hot Toys figures. I still have a bunch just sitting in the boxes in the next room. I'm waiting to I've been saying this, like if you watch the channel, like remodel my next room. And I'm just talk. I'm all talk at this point. I'm just letting boxes like pile up.
Yeah, I keep saying I'm going to move these movies behind me to make it statues, but I think I openly admitted in yesterday's video I'm just lazy. I got to carry him up the stairs. Do you have the Hot Toys? Do you have the Spider-Man where he's like he's by one of Doc Ock's tentacles? Did you get that one?
No. Was that the one with the black suit?
Nope, it's the red suit.
The red suit.
I think it's a Hot Toys. I think
yeah.
Sideshow had it a while ago. I almost bought it.
Okay. I'm not familiar. It's not coming to mind. So the majority of my Hot Toys, or all of the Hot Toys, I don't know why I said that. The pitch of my voice went up. So all the Hot Toys are from movie properties. So anything with the video games, I always skip. So I have a bunch of stuff from DC, the DCEU. I have all the Batmans except the Robert Pattinson hasn't been released yet. So all the
I got him on order.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. And then behind me is all like Marvel MCU stuff. And I try not to. I always said I don't want to double dip, but I wind up getting I have Captain America from Avengers 1, Infinity War, and Endgame. Same thing with Iron Man, Thor. I wind up getting 3 different versions of those characters. I just got Captain Marvel from Endgame. I got her from her solo movie, but I actually hate the figure from her solo movie.
I didn't like the movie.
Yeah, it's definitely on the bottom rung of MCU stuff, in my opinion. I was hoping that it was going to be like really, really good, especially since it was like the first female-led movie for the MCU. And I went in there wanting it to be good, and I was disappointed. I just hated the main thing I hated about that. And sorry for going on rants. That's what I do. Nick Fury's stupid eye, man. Come on, are you serious? The cat scratched her eye out, bro.
Shrapnel when he was part of the Howling Commandos.
Oh,
and again, I remember when Nick Fury was white, and then all at once he was just when the Ultimates kit hit, he looked like Sam Jackson. It was like, huh.
Wait, Nick Fury was white? No,
yeah, it's like, okay, David Hasselhoff, now he's Sam Jackson. What the fuck? Oh, well.
That's a guilty pleasure movie, the Nick Fury with David Hasselhoff.
It had Lisa Rinna from Melrose Place in it, in that leather outfit. Yeah.
Yes.
Can't get better than that.
Yes, sir. I'm a big fan of Lisa Rinna from back in the day. Now she's like 70 pounds. It's like
I remember looking at her Playboy when she was pregnant, posing in that. I was like, if I got to look at that pregnant stomach but still see her, I'm good. That's worth $5 to me. Take the good with the bad.
That is true. Half of her weight is in her lips.
That much is sadly true. She's hot though. She made good Black Widow back in the day.
Yeah, definitely. I'd buy that for $1.
I like the Black Widow movie. I did like. The only Marvel movie I truly can say I couldn't stand was the Eternals. Hated everything about it.
I see. So for the Eternals, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I appreciated the whole concept of existentialism, and they're trying to do broader stuff. I feel there was an adult good movie there, but then somebody was just like, hey, we don't have enough jokes. Let's write in some more jokes. And it totally ruined the movie. The one movie from the MCU that I absolutely hate, and I left the theater super pissed off, is Thor: Love and Thunder. I hated every single.
I'm ashamed. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to see it this week.
I hated it. The first 10 minutes or so, the opening is really good. So I had high hopes. Then right after that, everything just gets it's just terrible. I hated every single. My wife was making fun of me because I'm sitting in the theater and I'm shifting. When you in school, when they make you watch, when when they wheel in the TV on the cart.
I remember those days.
You think you're gonna watch Free Willy or something cool, and then they throw on some history nonsense. So that's how I was just like, I was so pissed off. And then
Was it too corny, or what was the deal with it?
So it was super corny. It was super childish. What happens is I'm a big fan of, well, the MCU kind of set themselves up, right? In that they have to follow through on all this stuff that they've already established. So it's painted them in a corner. So then what happens is if Thor came around and like conquered his PTSD and whatever, then that's fine. You can't revert back to him being just like a dumb bro or something. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So he's Thor, even worse than arrogant, immature Thor from Thor 1. So this Thor is clearly not worthy because of all the destruction that he caused, and he just didn't care about what was going on.
Did you like Ragnarok though?
I loved Ragnarok.
Okay, see, I liked Ragnarok, so it couldn't have been the humor that was killing you.
I loved Ragnarok. Ragnarok is in my top 10 MCU movies.
Yeah.
So, but Ragnarok was just a funny movie where all the characters were funny. Thor wasn't dumb. In this one, Thor is like the dumb next door neighbor in a sitcom. So he's like Joey Tribbiani. He's just an idiot. Like he's a flat out idiot, and I hated every single minute of that movie.
Did Korg at least have a good part in it? Because I'm a Korg fan. I like Korg. I don't know why. I just pop when I see Korg now.
You're asking the wrong person, sir. I hate Korg was one of the main things that I hated of this movie.
Oh, geez.
I want you to watch it and judge it for yourself. So everybody, don't take my word for it. Like always,
now you make me want to buy a ticket to Nope instead, because I heard that was good.
No, Nope. We saw it last night, as a matter of fact. Nope. It was good. That's something that you have to see for yourself. There's a lot of stuff up for like interpretation. It's very artistic. So it's one of those movies where I can't just tell you, oh my God, it's super good, or it sucks. You definitely have to watch it for yourself. But
I liked Get Out, and I didn't like Us, so this is kind of like the telltale for me for Peel.
Yeah, it's more Us than Get Out. I love Get Out. I think Get Out is one of like the best movies of the last 25 years. I loved it.
Hysterical.
Yeah, Us, but I just think he set his bar so high with Get Out that anything after is not going to live up to it. So if you were on the fence with Us, you'll definitely be on the fence with Nope.
I mean, we even went to before COVID hit, and Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, they had the Us house. It was a cool house. I think with my thing, and I've openly admitted, when I saw Us, I didn't see it in the theater, so I've already heard how amazing it is. I watched it on Blu-ray. I was dead tired. I think I might have even nodded off a couple times, and I've never tried to rewatch it. It was 100% me. I was not in a thinking movie mode. I wanted to just rest, but we watched that. So
yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's if you never go back to watch a movie, that's a telltale sign that the movie is just like meh. Like I've never went back to watch it, and usually like a comic book movie or even a good movie, not just a comic book movie, when it comes out on streaming, we're gonna watch it. Boom. MCU Phase 4, like the only movie I went back and watched the second time was No Way Home, which I absolutely love. The other ones I didn't, so I didn't rewatch Eternals. MCU stuff, even up onto Endgame. Whenever there was a movie that came out, I would watch every single movie that came out before it.
I do that with the Fast and the Furious.
Same. So when the last Fast and Furious came out, I watched them all. For these, I was just like, I'm not even gonna bother. Even though I enjoyed Black Widow, it wasn't terrible.
I like Shang-Chi a lot.
Yeah, Shang-Chi was really good. I think the third act with the whole like dragon thing, I was like, oh, okay, that was a little wonky for me.
I remember Shang-Chi though, when he was in the leopard gi and his dad was Fu Manchu, and that's the Shang-Chi I grew up with. So when my son's like, is this like the comics? It's like maybe the new ones. Like, sure shit ain't what I remember, but it was good. I mean, it was Disney does Jackie Chan. It was awesome. I'll never watch it again though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. Like I've only seen it the one time in the theater. I think I bought it though. I just never watched it. But yeah, like, whenever it's just funny whenever a movie's released, and like with Shang-Chi, that he came out with his miniseries. Now it turned into like a maxi series, I guess. And like, that's what you're gonna get. So it's the same thing with like Moon Knight. Oh, the Moon Knight show's coming out, let's release Moon Knight. And it's kind of like reintroducing people to the character, but the new version of the character that has nothing to do with the established lore. So it's just kind of weird.
I like the Moon Knight show. I thought it was cool for what it was. I hadn't read the comics since the 80s, so I need to go back and read them, but I remember it being different than the comics a lot, but I didn't hate the show. I thought it was better than the only Disney Plus show I didn't like was Loki, and that's the one that everybody loved.
Yeah, I enjoyed Loki immensely. I think for me that's the better show. I enjoyed WandaVision too. Like I enjoyed the quirkiness of it and stuff. Moon Knight, hated is a strong word, so I'm not gonna say I hated it. It was just like one of those things where it just wasn't for me. Oscar Isaac did a fantastic job, but it shouldn't have been called Moon Knight. It should have been called Mark Spector or something, or even call it anything else. And then as the show progresses, if you get like a glimpse of Moon Knight, you're like, oh shit, it's Moon Knight. But
See, I liked it. I thought it was so good. And then I read an interview where one of the stuntmen was like, we filmed all that. They're like, when he would go and it would black out and it would come back and like he would be holding the gun. They're like, no, we filmed me killing all these people, or we filmed me beating the shit out of this creature, this CG creature. It's like, we filmed all that. They just cut out all the violence to do it that way. They thought it would cooler. So now I'm kind of like, well, fuck, I want to see this other version of it now. I don't want to, I think that's why I was more privy to the Netflix shows like Daredevil and Punisher. I really like those. Those were very much more street level. I really enjoyed Daredevil. I'm a big Daredevil fan though.
yeah, I think that first season of Daredevil, nothing else. First of all, I like all the shows except Iron Fist. Iron Fist is like the worst thing ever made in the history of cinema. Terrible. The first season of Daredevil, I think it's one of the best like seasons, definitely in the comic book genre. That first season was amazing. I wish they would have kept him in like the old school, suit with the black thing. Like that was dope. I really enjoyed that. Punisher, it was a different take. Punisher is one of my favorite characters. I think John Bernthal is a fantastic actor. He is Frank Castle. I wish I got more like Punisher stuff in the city type things.
Yeah.
But I like the way they tied it to the whole PTSD and the Army or Marine side of what he does and how he arrived to where he's at. So I thought that was pretty cool.
See, that's been my favorite incarnation of the Punisher. And I was talking about that with Jim Mint. Like I thought the Thomas Jane movie was the best looking movie. It didn't have any action, so it was missing all the action. I thought the Warzone movie had that all done right, but it was like really low rent. Yeah. I really like the Dolph Lundgren movie, but he didn't even have the T-shirt. They fucked that origin up, Belize. Everything has kind of gotten something right and then something wrong. It's and it's not a hard character to do. Just started out, he's killing mobsters. There's not Lundgren had the right plot. They fucked with everything else about it.
Yeah, and I love that movie. It's definitely one of those so bad it's good movies. I love it. And then when he's just like threatens to kill the kid or something, like I loved it. You got the bum with whatever. I've definitely seen that a bunch of times as a kid. I thought it was really cool. And then he just had the skull on his knife, right? That's where where you see.
I bought the Blu-ray from Australia because they actually had the X-rated print, because there was actually about 6 minutes of blood they whacked out of that to get an R rating. So print you get to see it all. But yeah, that was my only thing. I was watching it because they even had like the title card when it came up was the skull, and I was like, all right, okay, so his family was blown up in a mob car hit. Like, okay, I can get past that. Okay, he's not wearing a shirt with the skull. That's your costume budget, a $5 shirt. It's like,
okay, he's naked in the sewer.
He's living in the sewers. His partner is a British man who drinks and quotes Shakespeare. It's like, the fuck. But then when I watched the Travolta one, I was like, man, Thomas Jane is the Punisher. He's so good. I really wish there was some action in this movie because there's none.
Yeah, I was disappointed with that Punisher movie only because a few years before that's when I got back into comics and I picked up Garth Ennis's Punisher.
Best Punisher run ever.
Absolutely. I loved it. It was fantastic. And this one borrowed heavily from it, especially like with the Russian, which was hilarious. the woman's body with his head. So I thought that was really cool. But once they said like when it opened in Puerto Rico and he was like an FBI agent, I was just like, wait, what? Like what is going on? This doesn't make any sense. But Thomas Jane, I think like he had a love for the character. He looked really, really gritty. Travolta was just whatever. But overall, like I'll never ever watch that again. I loved Punisher Warzone.
I got to apologize for my barking dogs. Let me yell at him to shut up. Little technical difficulty with the dogs that might happen again. But what'd you think of the Warzone movie? I thought it was like captured the spirit, but it was like watching a low budget, like a movie like me and my buddies would shoot in college or something like that.
Yeah, I actually loved it. Like I think I saw it
A
twice.
lot of people do.
See, what happens is I enjoy like bad movies. So even to this day, like my wife and I, like on a Sunday, we'll go on Hulu, Netflix, whatever, or we got Shudder, and we'll look for like terrible horror movies, like the worse the better. So with Warzone, I think it had all the elements of the Punisher. He had his costume, you had the mob elements, the violence. I thought that was pretty cool, and I thought Ray Stevenson actually made a great Punisher. I could have done without Newman at the end.
And Looney Bin Jim was a Jigsaw. I liked the guy that did Jigsaw, but the Looney Bin Jim thing I thought was kind of dumb.
Yeah, that was kind of dumb. Jigsaw, they could have done a better job on the makeup, but when you know what I mean, $6 budget, what can you expect?
That's
But I thought it was really cool. Like I want to watch it now. But that's my type of movie. Like at the end of the day, like what I like, if I had a choice, if you were gonna take every single genre off the face of the earth and I had to choose what type of movie that I would watch for the rest of my life like 80s B action movies. That's my jam. And that's probably why I like Punisher Warzone so much.
I'm close to you. I am more of the 90s direct to video karate movies, like the shit that Billy Blanks, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Lorenzo Lamas. That's the shit that I really get into. But no, I love 80s action movies. If I had only watched one movie, I'd probably have to say comedy because I like to smile. And because I've seen Grandma's Boy like 200 something times. That's like my go-to. Not my favorite movie, it's just a go-to. But what's your favorite MCU film? Mine is hands down The Winter Soldier.
My favorite MCU film is Thor Love and Thunder. No, I'm just kidding. I hate that movie. I'm gonna have to say Infinity War. Like Avengers Infinity War. Infinity Gauntlet is my favorite storyline in comics of all time, mainly for nostalgia reasons. That's what got me into comics back in the day. But yeah, I'm gonna have to say Infinity War. I thought it did a great job of transitioning Thanos from the page to the screen, because sometimes it's difficult, especially to, you know what I mean, a big ass purple, like, dude, like, how are you going to pull that off? I think he was fantastic. I think unless Doctor Doom comes with some shit, you're not going to top Thanos. I thought like the introduction of the Black Order was cool. There was no character development or no real introduction, but it made me go back and like read Infinity and figure out who these people were. So I thought that was cool. And it was just straight up fan service. So, and it's better than Endgame because of the whole first 2/3 of Endgame. They could be up in the air, even though I like it. But just Infinity War as a whole, as a comic book fan, this is a movie that I thought I would never see. And that's why I say it's my favorite, right? Because of the whole Infinity Gauntlet thing. So having a conversation with somebody and they're like, when Infinity War came out, like, oh, it was blah blah, it was okay, like this is what we waited for and whatever. And I was just like, yeah, it was good. Like you waited for it since the movie before it, which was I think Black Panther or Captain Marvel, I don't remember.
Captain Marvel, I think. Yeah, because then before that, wasn't it Ragnarok? Because didn't that end where you saw the Thanos' ship came up to them, I think?
Yeah,
much like Ragnarok, I think I've only seen it twice. I only watch the Marvel stuff once or twice, to be honest with you.
No, but in Ragnarok, that's how in the after credit scene it was the Thanos ship. So you're probably right. It probably was Ragnarok. But they're like, oh, this is what we waited for. I'm like, I've waited for this movie since I was 10 years old. Like if you told me I would get an Infinity Gauntlet movie, I would have been like, you're out of your damn mind. So it hit different for me. Same with Endgame. I'm an emotional dude. Like I cried when Captain America picked up in the Endgame.
I
When he
didn't
got the
cry,
hat.
but
Like
I
I was
was
just
like every other nerd in the theater was like, yeah, like I was into it.
I was just so overwhelmed. And it goes back to that nostalgia thing. Just like I've waited for this like 30 years. Like I'm 42. Like I've waited for this forever. And to actually see it come to fruition is insane.
A lot of technical difficulties tonight. I don't know. Well, where are you with the DCU movies?
Um, that's a great question. I'm in the minority when I say I loved Man of Steel. I'm not a Superman fan.
Can't get with you on that one.
I loved Man of Steel. What happens is because I'm not a real big Superman fan, so I've always said, and I might be 100% wrong, so just take it with a grain of salt. This is just my, thinking. I'm like, all right, Superman's boring. He's like the most powerful, he could do whatever. And I like that they gave him sort of like an edge and made him like relevant to today's times. So I loved Man of Steel. I absolutely loved Batman versus Superman, the Ultimate Edition. I thought that was fantastic.
Oh,
I
jeez.
loved it. Oh, this is where we're gonna fight now.
Here's my thing with Man of Steel, and I've said before, I know all the fellow nerds. I consider myself a nerd. That's why I said fellow.
Absolutely.
Bitch that he killed Zod. Oh, shut the fuck up. That guy, you had to kill him. He was going to destroy your planet. And Superman was like, oh, he didn't want to do it. My bitch was Superman. That's truth, justice, the American way. And I don't need to see him all sad and brooding on a fucking boat hauling oil and shit. Superman has to be mom and apple pie. It needs to be bright and colorful. Christopher Reeve. That was my bitch with the Man. It's like, oh, Superman's in a movie that's gray.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me started on Batman Superman. Jesse Eisenberg's enough to make me hate that movie for the rest of my life.
Oh yeah, no. When I say I love the movie, I love the movie. I think that Jesse Eisenberg as Lex is probably the biggest miscast in cinema history. I hated him. But the theatrical cut was jumbled. But when you watch the Ultimate Edition, like his plan actually made sense. So what they cut out for the theatrical cut was all Lex's plan on how to, get Superman and Batman to fight. So I actually, because I'm a big Zack Snyder fan, that's basically what it's going to come down to. And Zack Snyder's Justice League,
That was good.
I think that's probably, it's not my favorite comic book movie of all time, but I'll put it up there with like top 5 comic book movies of all time. That was just like a sprawling epic. I watched it twice in one day, like a fucking loser, like 8 hours out of my day just to watch this. And yeah, whenever my wife does something, like let's say she, goes to visit her mother, whatever the case, it's either going to be Infinity War and Endgame back to back or Zack Snyder's Justice League. And that's on repeat. I absolutely loved it. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with the DCU, the new Batman movie or the latest Batman movie.
I like that a lot.
I loved it.
Me too. I'll never watch it again, but I loved it.
Same. So when it released on HBO Max, I was just like,
yeah, my Blu-ray's sealed. It'll probably never get cracked open. I saw it in the theater. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't
Batman's my favorite superhero. So
yeah, I don't know if I even bought the Batman. Come to think of it, because I buy all the comic book Blu-rays. No, I loved it. I loved it. Aquaman was just like a cartoon come to life. Like I'll never watch it again. It was fun. Shazam was really fun.
I like Shazam.
Yeah, like it's one of the, like I'm glad I watched it. I'll
I
never
love
watch
Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey I probably watched about 3 or 4 times.
Oh well, you have problems, sir.
It's Deadpool. It's Deadpool with hot girls. That's all. It's DC's Deadpool.
I hated Birds of Prey.
Oh, I love Birds.
Watching it here, and I watched it by myself. I'm on the couch, and I was just like, it was such a slog to get through. I don't know. I didn't like anything about it.
Really? I thought it was hilarious.
I don't know. It's just, it wasn't my taste. I hated like everything about it. I thought, what's his name? Ian McGregor did a good job.
I hate the Nolan movies. I make no qualm that I hate the Nolan movies. Ben Affleck was a great Batman. I think that's why I liked. Yeah, I didn't hate Josh Whedon's cut of Justice League. Like I got what he was going for. He wanted to make it lighthearted and more fun. But the Snyder cut I did leaps and bounds better. I hated the Green Lantern movie. I like Shazam. I like DC's animated movies. I'm a big fan of the animated universe. They have their cartoons And even their CW TV shows, I think they're even the HBO shows like Titans and Doom Patrol. I think their stuff is second to none. Their movies don't have any continuity.
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. I haven't gotten into any of the CW shows or the live action HBO Max shows except for Peacemaker, which I thought was fantastic. The animated movie, phenomenal. Like is it called Doomsday or Batman Superman Apocalypse?
Yeah, when Supergirl comes down, that's really good.
Oof. That's amazing. For me, I think that's the best one. Like I watched that the other night. Normally I try to watch, I mean, I fall asleep pretty fast, but I'll throw on one of those DC cartoons on my phone as I'm, laying in bed, and then I'll knock out to that. But Batman, Superman, Apocalypse, I think that's like top tier, baby, top tier.
I really like Crisis on Two Earths, where they have to go to the other Earth where the heroes are the crime syndicate with Owlman, who just got a McFarlane figure. That's good. That's streaming on HBO Max right now.
I gotta watch that one.
Crisis on Two Earths, and Flashpoint's really good.
Oh yes,
such a good story though.
Oh my God, yes, Flashpoint, the Flashpoint paradox. I'm not a Flash guy, so when I watched it was more so, supporting the DC animated universe, and I was just mind blown at that movie. That shit was crazy.
Thomas Wayne was just should have had his own book. I know he's popped up a few times in the new. I didn't care for the last Batman run. I don't know if you've read the last Batman run where City of Bane and there's 100 issues for one story. That's asking a lot of my time.
Yeah, no, I just actually because I've never really been into like DC comics like that, so I'm like a newbie when it comes to DC comics. So then I heard somebody talking about Scott Snyder's and Greg Capullo's run on Batman.
It's okay.
It's funny because I went and I bought the first 2 trades, and in one day, boom, knocked it out. I think I knocked out all 10 trades in a week and a half. I loved it.
That's Court of Owls, right? Is the first main story.
Yeah, so the first main story is Court of Owls, but that's not even like the main thing that I enjoyed. I enjoyed like the Riddler stuff, the Year Zero. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought the whole,
I thought one I remember was good.
Death of the Family.
Death of the Family or something. I remember I liked that one.
Yeah, when he supposedly like ripped off everyone's faces and stuff, but he didn't. Oh my God, that was absolutely fantastic. And then that's what I went back to read that, and I just read it a couple of weeks ago, and I totally like messed up my whole reading schedule of new books. So I'm like way behind on new stuff to read.
My favorite Batman story, it's never been, if it was collected, it's some smorgasbord of shit from probably the 80s, but there was this it went through Batman Detective, and I think Brave and the Bold, or I don't think World's Finest was around. Might have been Brave and Bold, but like Robin, and Batman stories in the 80s, that shit could drag out forever. And Robin was dating a girl named, it wasn't Talia, it could be Talia, I can't remember. It's dating a girl, and it was just like an afterthought for a fucking year. Turns out she's a vampire. Her brother's the monk vampire, and they turned Batman into a vampire, but he's got anti-bat vampire serum or some shit, and he does a transfusion, so he's no longer a vampire, but then he's got to fight these vampires because now Robin's like, if they don't kill the vampires in time, he's going to become. I thought that was an amazing story, and they've never made it into a movie. They did the animated Red Rain, which it's not near as good as the comic was.
Mm-hmm. I've never read it or even heard about it for that matter.
Red Rain is Batman versus Dracula.
Oh shit.
That's a definite trade I would pick up. That's 90s. Elseworlds, which I always kind of dug the Elseworlds. Speeding Bullets, one of my favorite Elseworlds, as a Superman Red Sun.
Yeah, it's funny. I've never read Speeding Bullet, but I have it. So I've just never read it.
The figure comes out in a couple of weeks from McFarlane.
Yeah, it's funny. I saw it and I was just like, oh, I know what that is. Because I had the trade. I just never read it. I remember because that was the first time I heard about Elseworlds. So I got it out of a comic book mystery box. I opened a lot of mystery boxes on the channel. And I saw that and I was just like, what is this? So I had no idea what it was. And then I did the research and I was like, holy shit, this is cool. I just never got around to reading it.
On the mystery boxes, and I've watched some of your openings, sometimes you strike gold, sometimes you don't. I bought in mystery boxes from, I've had good luck with shameless plug for them, not that they know me, that Spider-Man booth.
Yeah.
And whatnot. I bought in it because you're at least going to get a variant or two with one of their boxes. But I'm not like you. I'll get the $30 to $50 box. I'm not buying those hundreds of dollar boxes like you do. Have you ever bought a box where you were like, God damn it, this sucks? Or have you always been pretty happy?
No, I can count on like one hand the amount of bad boxes that I received. Sometimes if it's like if you get a $40 box or like a $30 box, you shouldn't expect like, grails.
I'm not gonna get a key or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're just gonna whatever. As long as you hit value. So that's my whole thing is just like as long as I hit value, and let's say if I don't like any of the books in the box, if I could turn around and sell them and get my $30-$40 back, then I'll be happy. I'll be happy. But recently, like one of the last ones that I uploaded, the box was it was $100 box, and it fell short of value by like $30 or something like that. But the biggest flop, I would say, oh my God, this is hilarious. And I hate talking about it because it's just like I got so like pissed off. So I paid $777 for a box. So
Better got some slabs in that son bitch.
so the guy put up the preview pics, and this was last year. The guy put up the preview pics, big key books, a first Mysterio, first Doc Ock, all these slabs. So then, I did the math because he was selling 77 boxes. So 77 boxes at $777. So in his preview pics, I counted up all the slabs. So there was like 102 slabs in the preview pics. So I'm like, okay, each of these slabs are gravy. If I get one of them, I'll be okay. That's half of the box cost. And then whatever the raw books should make up the cost. So then I get my box. I open it on camera, and that's the first time that you see me actually like get pissed off. So they were super mispriced, the books. So for example, Spider-Man 2099 #1, spine ticks galore up and down the side, $45 price tag.
I got like $30 for mine. I don't know how, because that was a quarter box book for about 20 years, but that cartoon hit. So yeah, I was able to unload mine.
No, absolutely. And if it's in good condition, this one was not in good condition.
Not spine ticked up.
It had so much spine activity. It was crazy. It almost had scoliosis or whatever that's called. That's how bad the spine was. And then a Rogue One from the 90s, right? So you see 90s foil, there's no value there.
No, I was telling you earlier, I got a garage full of that shit. It's worthless.
So that a Rogue foil #1 from the 90s, $55 price tag. And then and that's the first time ever that I did a video that midway through, I was just like, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to go calculate the values, and then I'll be back. And then I got on, and I was like super pissed off. Anyway, long story short, I reached out to the guy. I expressed my displeasure. It's on me. So I was just like, yo, Adam, I'm just telling you, this box fucking sucked. I don't expect you to do anything. Like, I hope if this is what you're planning to do with the rest of your boxes, just know I have a platform. People are going to see this. Nobody's going to buy from you. But I don't want you to do anything. Don't whatever. But then he was just like, I made an honest mistake. I was using the slab prices from, I guess, Cover Price or one of those things. It's an honest mistake. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. So I was like, okay, cool. And then he sent me like some books to kind of make up for the value. But it was a harrowing experience, to say the least.
Did you get a slab in there at least?
Yeah, so I got an X-Men Adventures #1 in like
the cartoon one.
Yeah, so that was a slab. That was one slab in like a 9.6, and then I got a Moon Knight #1 in a 9.2, 9.0.
But that's some good money right there.
Not in a $777 box. So that at the time, the value on
Moon
that
Knight one would be. Are you talking about the 80s Moon Knight?
The one, yeah. So
that's got to be about $1,000
with the purple yellow cover.
Yeah, and you see like Bushwhack and all them down the bottom. That's it. High dollar. It was a high dollar book before the show came out. It might have went back to normal by now.
No, so this was before even the show. I wind up getting rid of it. At the time, it was only valued, if we're talking about the same one, it was valued around like $260.
A 9.6?
2. The X-Men Adventures was a 9.6.
Oh, what was Moon Knight again? I'm sorry.
It was either 9.0 or 9.2. So it went for like $260.
I wanted to say that seems like a high book.
Yeah, no. At the time, it wasn't. And this is before the show came out.
Though, but that I've seen that. Like, I saw once people on Whatnot were getting hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Then the show came out, $30-$40, just like it always was. That was a true crash and burn comic. I mean, that really did, because it seemed like once the show came out, everybody forgot about it.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing, right? With the speculation market, that everyone just wants to pick something up and pump it up, get rid of it, penny stocks.
Like Echo now. Everybody wanted Echo when she popped up in that episode of Hawkeye. It's
Mhm.
gone down again. It'll be maybe get a little more heat when the show comes out, but it's the downside with Marvel. They're a solid investment, but anytime anything gets announced, it goes through the roof and then it just plummets right again.
Yeah, and then if you're doing that to invest and sell, you have to sell as soon as something is announced, or
Mhm.
literally the day the trailer drops. Like you have to sell because
Yeah.
it's just plummet when, especially when the show drops. Like it's the worst time. Like I saw a lot of people now talking about like getting like if you can spring for the cash, getting like Submariner keys. Now is the worst time to get Submariner keys at the height of the trailer dropping for
Mhm.
Black Panther.
Wait till the movie comes out and everybody's pissed off. Sure, he's the new Black Panther, and then it'll go back to being low again. That $7,000 will be about 500.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually, for some reason, I don't think it's gonna be Shuri. I think it's gonna be Nakia for some strange reason.
I think it was Shuri in the books, wasn't it? My Black Panther comic knowledge is kind of low.
No, it was Shuri in the books, but for some reason, I think it's gonna be Nakia. I don't know why.
See, I read Panther when I was a kid, and it wasn't even Black Panther. I think it was called Jungle Fantasy, and
Yeah.
he fought like clan members or
Mhm.
just criminals. He didn't have no power suits and any of that. Wakanda was just a jungle. It was so see, I wasn't when I saw the movie because my son liked the movie. When I saw the movie, which I did like, it was kind of like that was one that was all new to me because I
Mhm.
had only read that 70s incarnation of Panther. I
Yeah,
liked the movie. It was okay.
yeah. I enjoyed the movie too. I mean, this is kind of like, I guess, sacrilege to say now, but I thought the weakest part of the movie was actually Black Panther. Like I thought all the other characters were more richer than T'Challa.
I rooted for Killmonger.
Yeah, I thought he was awesome. I thought M'Baku was super charismatic. I even liked Daniel Kaluuya's character. I thought he was super cool. Um,
They should have
Sometimes
just
the
brought
hero is like, that's not
bring
that's
Killmonger back from the dead, and he can be the new Black Panther. Everybody pop. It's Michael B. Jordan forgets Creed.
yeah. I think, and this is this if it's Shuri or if it's Nakia, this is what I think might happen because obviously if they take the herb, then they go into that ancestral plane. So T'Challa's not going to be in the ancestral plane because he's dead, right? So I think they're going to have, let's say, Shuri talk to Killmonger in the ancestral plane, and he's going to tell her all this stuff, blah, blah. And then that's why you see whoever's the Black Panther in the trailer, their suit is black and gold, which is Killmonger's colors, and not just the silver that T'Challa had. So it's kind of like adopting Killmonger's colors, even though he had like the leopard spots. So I think that's what might happen. Like Michael B. Jordan is, I would say it's like 99% gonna be in it because that would be just cool. Like, how do you explain the ancestral plane then? Like, you won't be able to.
Plus, the only person that's dead in the realm of superheroes is Aunt May.
Imagine.
Everybody else comes back at one. They're gonna come back.
That's true. No, imagine that's what it is. Aunt May's at the ancestral plane and like, Sherry, what are you doing here? Where's Peter?
Peter, now, if you were to add up the age of when Spider-Man came out, Peter Parker is now older than Aunt May.
Oh wow.
That's getting way too nerd deep there, but that's.
My
I was
my
like, my son loved No Way Home. That was a good movie. I did like that. I like that Andrew Garfield finally got a little chance to shine because he had two of the most embarrassing movies ever made.
I actually really liked the first Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. Like
Where he
I
fought Hulk 2099. I mean, the lizard. Come
yeah,
on, that was terrible.
no, but I enjoyed it. I like that he was because everybody's saying at the time people were saying, oh, he's not a nerd and whatever. He's still an outcast. That's what Peter Parker was. It was just like his version of an outcast was a nerd. This version is like a loner emo skateboard dude. But I like the first one. The second one was absolute garbage.
See, for
Garbage.
me, I know it was kind of trying to follow the Spider-Man Ultimate comic, but
Mhm.
I kind of fell in that part. I was like, this kid is too good looking. This is a good looking emo kid. In no way he would be a dork like Peter Parker was. So even though I knew they were kind of going for the new Ultimate one, it didn't work. Whereas Andrew Garfield, he's perfect. I mean, wherever they found this kid, he's amazing. His Uncharted movie was shit, but Spider-Man, he's dead on. His best Spider-Man I've ever seen.
Oh, you mean Tom Holland?
Tom Holland, I mean, sorry. Garfield was too
Uh,
handsome. Tobey
Yeah, no,
Maguire was okay.
it's funny when you look back at those first Sam Raimi, like we love. I mean, I love it because of the nostalgia, but they don't hold up.
No, the second one a little more so because of
Oh yeah, that.
Alfred Molina.
Mhm.
But well, look at I remember when I saw Daredevil in the theater with Ben Affleck, and I was like, this isn't too bad. And I tried to watch it a while ago. I was like, oh god, this is just. And I like Colin Farrell a lot, but I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah, that was the best part of that movie was when they were playing Shamrocks and Shenanigans by House of Pain in the bar.
I,
I remember that.
I just I hated her as Elektra because
Horrible.
Elektra is not a white girl. They had it right on the TV show.
Yeah.
Elektra's she's not white. I don't know what descent she is.
What is she? Mediterranean.
Yeah, see, I want to say Italian, but I know that's right, even though her last name was Nachios. But
Yeah.
no, it's yeah, Jennifer Gardner's not Elektra. I didn't think Affleck did a bad job. I still wish anyone playing Daredevil would color their fucking hair red, which even Charlie Cox doesn't seem to do, but he wears red sunglasses, I guess. So he's kind of 50-50 in it.
Yeah, no, that Daredevil movie was, oh my god. I that was one of those where I just gave up on it when they were fighting in the schoolyard in like slow motion.
Right in the beginning.
Whatever.
We had to get a date with her. Even though he was blind, he didn't know what the fuck she looked like. That makes sense. But I didn't hate the Fantastic Four. I hated the last Fantastic Four movie. The ones with Chris Evans and Michael Chiklis. I thought those were pretty good. They for what they were for their time. I thought they were exactly what they needed to be.
I agree. I thought the second one was bad. I thought that iteration of Silver Surfer was fantastic.
It's Larry Fishburne, wasn't he?
Yeah, Larry Fishburne on the voice. I enjoyed both of them. Would I have cast Jessica Alba as Sue Storm? Probably not. But I thought Michael Chiklis was cool. I enjoyed the what do you call it? The practical effects of thing. I thought that was pretty cool. But it was good for what it was. It was like wholesome, like a Fox movie. It wasn't terrible. Like people say it's bad or it's like horrible, but that's just because they hear other people saying it's bad, it's horrible. But I think if you sit down and watch it and enjoy it for what it is, you'll walk away happy. But that last one, Fanforstic, was that shit was the worst. I even like the Roger Corman Fantastic Four.
I did like that.
It was good.
I remember that came out and all the people in the comic store, and I'm younger then, and like, wait till you see the flame on effect. It was like the fucking cartoon panel. This is, you got to be ribbing me here. This is bad. But and I've interviewed Michael Bailey, who played the Thing, and even he was like, well, we just made that movie because if they didn't, they were going to lose the rights to it. But the movie to this day still does not have a proper release, which really in this day and age is just astounding to me. Marvel, they could make a lot of money if they released it. Yeah, everybody else is watching bootlegs.
Or just throw it on like Disney Plus. Absolutely. I remember I had got a copy. This was I went to a Comic-Con. This is back in the day when Comic-Cons were in like church basements. So I go down to the church days. Yeah, down to the church basement. And the guy had all the bootleg tapes. And I was just like, what the hell? What is this? Yo, that's that new Fantastic Four. I was like, let me get it. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, except the stupid arm at the end coming out the thing.
It was much better than the Captain America that came out at that time where Ned Beatty was the president. That was bad. And I love Cap. Cap's one of my favorite Marvel heroes, but I can get behind that one. I like the Chris Evans Captain America. Like I said, Winter Soldier, I think that's my favorite superhero movie. And I'd probably say Watchmen would be number 2.
Yes.
I like the ending of Watchmen. I like how everybody was like, oh, man, it's not the squid, it's Manhattan. It's like, yeah, but to make it Dr. Manhattan in the context of a movie, it's so much more simplified. To me, it made more sense. I actually liked it better.
So I had never even heard of Watchmen until the movie came out. So I lose nerd points right there, which is fine. I saw it and I really enjoyed it in the theater. It was different. It was adult. So it was an adult comic book movie. Watched the Ultimate Edition and I was just like, I absolutely love this movie. It's one of my favorite, not only comic book movies, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. I absolutely love Watchmen. I'll put that up there with any movie.
What did you think of the HBO series?
I thought it was good. I thought it was more than good. I really enjoyed it. It was just weird, like separating the movie from the show, especially when they introduced Dr. Manhattan. So I was just like, wait a minute. I was still stuck on the movie, but I thought it was good. It was well written, one and done season. It was really good.
I would have liked a season 2 because I'm pretty sure she was supposed to have gotten all this powers when she cracked that egg at the end, but I don't know. I prefer if I pay money to see something that they give me an ending. I don't like having to think it up. So it's
Yeah. No,
Sin City. I love Sin City. I didn't like Sin City 2 that much. It wasn't anything against it. It was just weaker stories.
yeah, Sin City 2 was bad. Like it wasn't. Sin City 1, yeah, no, I thought when I saw it, I remember sitting down in the theater. Again, I never read the comic or anything like that. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. But so like Watchmen, it made me go back and read the comic. So I got the graphic novel. Sadly, I never read it, but I went and got the graphic novel, and then I have a first print Watchmen #1 in a CGC slab. So I did the same thing with Sin City. So I go back and I got the trade of Sin City, and it was so similar to the movie. It was no point in reading it. So I don't want to
Oh
say
yeah, that's word for word, scene for scene. It was like watching a storyboard.
yeah. So if I had read the comic book and saw the Sin City movie, I probably would have hated it because it's literally the same shit.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoy like the artist's interpretation. Like this is the source material. We're gonna adapt it to the screen, not like throw it directly from the source material to the screen.
Now the comic, before I let you go, the comic I keep telling you to read is Faust. There's a Faust movie out there too by Brian Yunza, the creator of the Reanimator movies. Not as good as the comic, but you got to get on the Faust. If you like Crossed, pick Crossed. Crossed, as much as Cross is G-rated compared to the Faust.
I got to get up on that Faust. I'm writing it down on my phone right now.
Crossed, I love. I did a review for Crossed not that long ago. That's because I just discovered it like a month ago, even though it's been out for like 10 years. I like Garth Ennis, and I was like looking up stuff. It's like, oh, Avatar Press, they make all these adult comics I really like. Okay, cool. And so I bought a bunch of the volumes and I'm reading them. That's really, really good.
Yeah. We spoke a little bit about this backstage. That's what got me in my third time around falling in love with comics. It was Crossed, and I was at a bar after work and got drunk and went to the comic book store and picked up volumes 1 through 3, and I absolutely loved it, especially for Garth Ennis because the name I recognize because his Punisher run is my favorite Punisher run of all time.
Mine too.
And then yeah, I think it's fantastic. And then with Cross, it was I've never seen like an adult oriented comic like that where it's just like they have this disease, they just want to kill and fuck. Like I want that disease.
When they were taking the bullets and jerking off on them and using them to shoot people to infect them, I was like, holy what the fuck am I reading? And then she had to kill her kid because they turned him and everything. That is 1 in 10, and I did a review for it. That is one crazy book, not for the kids.
No, definitely that book. Damn, I wish I don't have it anymore because I remember selling them on eBay. But I want to definitely go back and revisit those. It was entertaining as all hell. Like if you're looking for just plain old entertainment, like you can't get any better than. I mean, yeah, you probably can get better than that, but it's like it's awesome. It's awesome. I just looked up Faust over here. I'm gonna try to pick that up on Wednesday if they have it at my shop.
Yeah, I mean they're good. They're X-rated to say the least, but they're good. It's basically what Wolverine should have been because this guy uses his claws to maim people. Or much like Wolverine in the comics, he don't really use them claws as much as people think that he did in the outside world. They just have the snicked. But that's why I thought Logan was so good because he was using them claws in Old Man Logan. Old Man Logan's one of my favorite comic books, actually.
The comic book, yes, I agree with you. 100%.
The Hulk was all inbred family and everything. Logan was a great movie, but it hasn't got shit to do with the comic book.
Yeah. The movie was good. It's not my favorite kind of movie, but definitely the Old Man Logan. That was one, and I still have it. One of the first graphic novels I bought getting into this round of my love for comics, and I thought it was fantastic. Fucking when Red Skull was wearing Captain America's uniform when he popped up, I popped huge. I was just like, yeah, this is awesome. It was yeah, the whole thing was amazing. And then Hawkeye being blind, like that was an amazing twist.
It was good. Now, I hope you will come on again to do this because I've got to ask you. I'm even throw a topic out for you. I'm looking and I see all this Star Wars stuff behind you. So you're clearly a Star Wars fan. I think the Fast and the Furious franchise is far superior to the Star Wars franchise. And I would love to debate that because you're talking to the one nerd that don't like Star Wars.
So you're talking to another nerd who's not really in love with Star Wars. So I'm a big fan of, like I mentioned before, like B movies and then B horror movies. I love creature design and character design. Star Wars, if I never watched another Star Wars movie ever, I am not gonna lose sleep over it. I just love the designs of the characters. So, but like as far as the movies, I saw the first Star Wars when it was re-released in like 97. That's the first time I ever saw it. I was like, yeah, this is cool. Empire is awesome. Return of the Jedi, meh. The prequel
I was
trilogy.
a little kid when those first ones came out. So it's like I saw them. I saw the first new one with, I think it's the one with Jar Jar. And to be honest with you, I never saw any of the other ones. I saw like when they beat up Anakin half to death in the lava and he became Darth Vader. I wanted to see that ending. But no, for the most part, I think the thing that I walked away with out of it was in the Return of the Jedi. How did the Ewoks have clothes that fit Princess Leia unless another girl was on their planet and they ate her?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I think nothing of Fast and Furious. I'll tell you what, my big biker looking ass, that when Paul Walker pulled up to Vin Diesel and you're gonna leave without saying goodbye, I was like,
Yeah, definitely.
like that. I was that got me.
Yeah, you know what's funny? So with the Fast and Furious. So anyway, back to your point of Star Wars. Star Wars is cool, but I just love the character design. So I'm on the same page as you are with Star Wars. Sometimes I don't understand how it's like, oh, it's my religion. It's just like, well, you need a new religion. Fast and Furious. The first movie I didn't love as much. I think when they got away from just car racing, I kind of enjoyed it. So like 4, 5, 6, and then it just went into like it just went full craziness. I enjoyed it, like the one with the first one with the Rock, which I think was Fast 5.
That was 5. Yeah, that was a really, really. That's the true definition of movie that is better than it had any business being.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I think that for me, that's the best one. But yeah, like when you said when Paul Walker pulled up, so we're watching it. I had never heard the Charlie Puth song with Wiz Khalifa, and we're sitting there in the theater, and then you just hear the piano keys, and I was just like, yo, what the hell? The song is mad sad. And then when he pulled up, and then they like whatever, yeah, I cried. I was just like, holy shit.
It was, the first one was just Point Break with cars. That's all I ever got out. I liked it, but I mean, the one thing because I know so many people shit on it, it's like, you name me any other franchise in history where the 7th movie in the franchise is the one making billions of dollars. It doesn't happen. It's not going to happen again. That was just God, we're getting ready they went into space in a fucking Dodge Fiero in part 9. Come on, with John Cena. The Rock won't be in it. Fuck him. You get John Cena.
Yeah, that's the only one. Like I thought, I don't know. I wasn't too much of a fan of that one. I was just
the only thing I didn't get about that was here's Dom Toretto. His dad is Easy from Mayans,
and
his brother is John Cena. It's like, I want to see the mom. What the fuck kind of mixed family is this guy coming? This doesn't even look semi-similar, because even young Dom Toretto was like Hispanic. It was like,
yeah.
How do you go from Hispanic to Italian? What the fuck is going on here? It was like really weird watching the flashbacks, but it was still cool to me.
Yeah.
It was John Cena.
Yeah, John Cena. I don't know. I'm a Cena fan of his comedy. I think he has perfect comedy timing. He made Suicide Squad. The Peacemaker show is absolutely fantastic.
That was so good.
He was the best thing in Trainwreck, that Amy Schumer thing.
Have you seen Vacation Friends yet?
That was fucking hysterical.
I was surprised how funny that was.
Yeah, cock blockers. It's all the same. Like, he's a comedic genius, which is crazy. Which is why in wrestling, I get it. Like, he's like the biggest face ever, and the Make-A-Wish kids and all that other stuff. But he got huge off of his charisma and making jokes and the battle raps and stuff like that. Like, why they never went back to that, except for when he was trash talking with The Rock. Yeah, missed opportunity there. But
Yeah.
you know, make a wish, kids. So
I love the Doctor of Thugonomics.
yeah, man. I was at WrestleMania 20 when he won the belt, the US belt. When he came out and he was like dissing Big Show and he was like talking about his plums.
So
I
when you
love
mentioned Make a Wish, that makes me think of that picture of Tony Khan hugging Cesaro because he looked like a Make a Wish kid that met his hero there. But
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
hoping Tony Khan gives me a job one day. So no disrespect to you, Mr. Khan, if you're watching, because I would love to work for you.
Yeah, I dabble in the wrestling, so just like comics, I was off and on and stuff like that. I've been to a ton of wrestling events. Like now, I'm excited to get back into WWE with Triple H at the helm,
Yeah.
and
SummerSlam was good.
SummerSlam was amazing, and a lot of wrongs were corrected. And
It
I
should
just
have ended though when Lesnar hit the ring with the tractor. That you couldn't top that. That was such a neat spot. If that's how it should have ended.
yeah, no, I agree that was good, but I enjoyed like even with Bailey coming back and you know the two other wrestlers that she came with, one of them that was fired, that Vince McMahon fired, and just like all right, boom. I was expecting because it was three of them, and then it was Becky Lynch and then Bianca Belair, who I think is fantastic. I was expecting like Sasha Banks to come in and make it like a 3-on-3, which it'll probably happen like tonight or some shit, like Sasha and Naomi coming back.
I'm just mad I couldn't see Bailey's big ass because that's like my highlight of Raw is Bailey's ass. But you know, shit on that baggier coat. It's Edge's return. I popped for Edge's return with all the fire and everything. I mean, it was a very slick show. I liked it.
Yeah, I'm excited for because I loved Black and Gold NXT. Like
Yeah.
those takeovers, like you could stack them up against any pay-per-view. Those NXT takeovers. And I love that Triple H embraced what the look of a wrestler, like the new wrestler, what it is. It's not going to be this big, giant, muscular guy with long hair. Like it's going to be high flying tattoos, whatever. And I love that he embraced that. And I'm hoping that transitions well into Raw. Like I would love for him to bring Karrion Kross back. Um, I would love to see Tommaso Ciampa and AJ Styles like on in a
Oh
pay-per-view.
yeah.
Like those
I
are like
love
dream
AJ.
matches, dude. And yeah, it's just crazy. It's so messed up what they did with Pete Dunne. Like, oh my God, horrible.
Now, before you go, what's your YouTube channel? And I'll put a link in, don't worry, but people don't read. So what's your YouTube channel?
No, thank you. So the YouTube channel is DJ Linx, DJ Linx Linx. My logo is like you'll see it in the thumbnail for this video. The logo is a skull with a red hoodie and then headphones. So I had that logo for years, going on 20 years. Prior to the YouTube, I was a professional DJ, gigs all over, whatever the case may be. COVID happened, there were no more parties. So then I just jumped right back into comic books. So on the channel, what we mainly do, we open comic book mystery wrap boxes, hauls, things like that. Hot toys reviews. I have a bunch of hot toys that I have to review. Um, every Friday night at 9 p.m. we have a live show in the mix. So it's me and a couple of my friends, like, you know, come on, and before it was like interview based shows like this, and then we kind of like changed it to just more of a topical discussion of shit that happened like during the week, which I think is gaining traction now. One of the main focuses of the channel as well is our channel membership. So the Link Squad, and we have about like 90 something members as part of the channel, which is great. I take great pride in curating like what we call the links box. So every month, like a channel member, we do a drawing. A channel member would get an opportunity to win like a box of comics, but like the value is, it could go anywhere from 300 to like $500, depending. This Sunday, me and another channel who would probably be a fantastic guest, Mark from Legion of Comics, that's his YouTube, Legion of Comics. We teamed up actually and put both of our channel memberships together to give away an Ultimate Fallout 4, CGC graded 9.4, first appearance of Miles Morales. So what we did was, it's just for the channel members, and whoever joined for the month of June and July, you're going to get a crack at this. So it was kind of like to market our channel memberships, and I don't think anyone has ever done something like that.
Oh, I've never even heard that.
Yeah, so we thought, let's blaze a little trail over here, Mark. So we did that, and then we're giving away this Ultimate Fallout 4 this Sunday on his channel, Legion of Comics, at 9 p.m. Yeah, so that's my main focus is the memberships and just giving back to the members and the people that support me. And I'm super grateful. It's I would never think that like making a video, like a dude like me, just let me just slap together some videos. I got a cool looking background that people would actually like watch and support in the way that they do. And I'm like forever humbled by this whole YouTube experience.
You're also on Instagram, DJ Linx.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, DJ underscore Linx underscore 2010, which is a very long name, but that's been my name since 2010.
Facebook or Twitter?
No, I'm not. I'm just, and it's funny because I'm on the Instagram because I feel like I have to be because of the promoting the show, promoting the channel, and things like that. But I'm not, a social media guy. I'm actually very private in my in real life. So the social media is a necessary evil. But I never got into the Facebook. I never got into the Twitter.
Odds are, if you're watching this, you came from his channel because I have Dick compared to him. So I really do want to thank you for coming on. I do. I hope you'll come on again.
No, absolutely. I enjoyed having this conversation. Like this was amazing. This was definitely like the highlight of my day. It's funny because it's like I just ramble. I was super tired. So this weekend I was at Terrificon in Connecticut, right? The Comic-Con, and it's like con in the day, party all night. So then I went to work today, and before this conversation, I was dead. Now I'm just like amped. Like I just want to keep talking.
And I know my kid wants to play, so it's about time for me to head out. But thank you so much. I really am sincere. I hope you will come back again someday.
No, absolutely, absolutely. I'm going to pick up that Faust. I'm 100% going to pick that up. As a matter of fact, and instead of even going to the LCS today, I might just pick it up off eBay.
We can talk about it.
Yeah.
Faust.
Yeah, man.